everybody, welcome back to American Truck Simulator. My name is Big Bill. How y'all doing today? As I'm doing good, as I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. Excuse me. As I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend, and I hope you guys are going to have a wonderful start to your week. As you know, today is Sunday, December 7th, 2025. How are we all doing? Hope we're all doing well. Hope we're all enjoying the weekend. And hopefully we sit back, relax, and enjoy some, well, either college football or NFL or even the Gateway Dirt Nationals sponsored by Kubota. Fabulous super late model show that they have put on for, I forget how many years now, but I can tell you this right now, I love that program, or yeah, actually I could say program. I love that program. I love that, what they do out there, especially home. Of the former home to the St. Louis Rams in St. Louis, Missouri. You know, it's just awesome. What can I say? But anyways, guys, how y'all doing? We're back doing our long haul again, part 2. Now, everyone's probably saying, Bill, you're freaking talking. You're not supposed to be talking. It's part 2. If you guys didn't watch part 1, there will be a link in the top right hand corner, and there'll be a link in the description below. I said in part 1, and I also said a while back in some other videos that if I do more than 2 parts to a trip, part 1 and part 2 will be me talking. The last and final part will be me being quiet. So, but you know, but yeah, hopefully you guys get that. I know this is the first time doing this, you know, a very long trip where we have to split. Now, I did get asked this question. I'm going to answer this question right away. Why did we stop at that rest area where we did? Easiest place to pull in, easiest place to pull out. All we have to do is pull in, pull out, and pull in and get some sleep and pull right on out to the highway. Now where we're going today is a truck stop, top off the truck, give us some fresh fuel, and then we're going to sleep there. That way you guys can get a good bit of the silent trip. So today I think we're probably going to go through Texas and get through most of Oklahoma. So yeah. Sun's in our eyes, the sun is coming up. We are trucking. Alright. Topic of discussion today. Now, I'm going to apologize because this topic might exceed longer than I anticipated. This topic might exceed some boredom. This topic might exceed some opinions, you know, in the comments, you know. Let me know in the comments below, because, you know, I am doing this video Saturday night into Sunday, so they have not released the college football playoff final standings, which is at 12 o'clock on Sunday. Pretty much, what is my point of view and my opinion on it now? Yes, I am going to be a little bit biased. I am, yes, if you guys are new to the channel, I am a proud Notre Dame fan. I've been a Notre Dame fan all my life. My family are Notre Dame fans. We love the University of Notre Dame. I've been out there to a game. I've been to a game. It's been a while. I know most of my family, they've been out to multiple games. We just love the university, and we love the Notre Dame. With that being said, so the controversy is this. So, Alabama, Notre Dame, and Miami are all vying for 2 spots. Well, actually, BYU as well. With this being championship weekend, Notre Dame is independent, Notre Dame is off. So what does that mean? Well, that means Notre Dame has to sit and wait till tomorrow, which is Sunday, to see if they're in the playoff or not. Now, a lot of the people at ESPN and a lot of people on other stations like Fox, NBC, I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. You know, they're all having their opinion out, and then the whole world can give out their opinion. But you know, ESPN, you know, we know some of them people. All right. So this is what I'm trying to get at. So the head-to-head matchup that everyone's talking about is Notre Dame versus Miami, which was at the beginning of the year. Yes, Miami did beat Notre Dame by 3 points. Yes, it was probably an early game of the year pick. And welcome to Texas, as we just crossed into Texas. It was probably an early game of the year pick because it was a great game. You know, CJ Carr, freshman quarterback, first start. You know, the jitters, everything else. Miami held Jeremiah Love at point. You know, Carson Beck, you know, he was doing good and bad. You know, he was, you know, he wasn't great, but, you know, first time with Miami, you know, first full game with Miami, you know, he's going to have a little bit of mistakes. Mario Cristobal and, you know, Marcus Freeman both coaching both teams really well. You know, both rosters and both coaching staffs are on point. You know, our defensive coordinator, Chris S., has gotten better. Our defense and our offense has gotten a lot better. You know, and I think our offense actually has improved with CJ Carr as our quarterback. You know, it's not Rodney Leonard, it's not Sam Hartman. You know, CJ Carr is not afraid to run, but unlike the other two who mainly did run for us, you know, he can also pass the ball, and we actually do have some quality good wide receivers to pass the ball to now. So, now with that being said, okay, where is the controversial coming in? So the controversial coming in is the last week of the regular season. Notre Dame was playing Stanford. Miami was playing, I forget who Miami was playing, but Alabama was playing Auburn. Auburn, shocking enough, I believe that game went into overtime. Okay? If it didn't go into overtime, then Alabama went down and scored a game-winning touchdown. Here's where the committee is lying. The committee, the playoff committee, and the coaches poll put Alabama above Notre Dame for the first time in, I think, 4 or 5 weeks. Okay? Here's the thing. And this is where I'm going to be a little bit biased and say this is what happened. Okay? This is the two similarities and the two differences. The two differences, or the one main similarity is they both have 2 losses. The biggest difference with them 2 losses is the amount of points they lost by. FedEx, I don't know what you're doing, but Jesus. So, Alabama has lost to Oklahoma and Florida State, and they were not by 3 or 1 point like Notre Dame did to Miami and Texas A&M. You know, Miami, Notre Dame lost to Miami by 3 points. The following week, they lost to Texas A&M by 1 point. Now, needless to say, both very good games for Notre Dame and strength of schedule, as the other opponents in their schedule weren't as good as, you know, last year or the coming years. So let's get to BYU. Let's add BYU to the mix, because BYU, in my opinion, is out of it. Now, the only reason why I'm saying BYU is out of it is because they just got blown out in the Big 12 championship by Texas Tech. So, what does that mean? Well, that means BYU is out of the conversation unless the playoff committee says, okay, you know what? Maybe you deserve a shot. Maybe we'll give you a chance, you know? I don't know how the committee is going to look at that. Okay? Let's look at Alabama. Yesterday, Alabama lost to Georgia 28-7 in the SEC championship. Now, mind you, Alabama and Georgia played earlier this year. Mind you, pretty much the SEC championship is in Atlanta. So what does that mean? That's pretty much home field advantage for the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's just be real here. Let's just be real and get that out of the way. If you play Georgia, or if you're going to Atlanta to play at their new Mercedes-Benz Superdome, or whatever the hell they call it, and you're going to play Georgia, you might as well just count that as Athens, Georgia. You know, you might as well just say, okay, this is Georgia's home stadium, pretty much. And I'm being legit when I say that. Like, I haven't been down there, but the whole time, like, I watched the game, it was nothing but Georgia fans. Like, there was a lot of Alabama fans, but you couldn't tell. Like, you really, and I mean, cold-heartedly couldn't tell. So, alright, I'm going to take a moment here, jump on the pause menu, show off the truck a little bit. And while we're doing this, I'm also going to show off where we're stopping for tonight, and we're also going to be showing where we're going to get fuel. So, now me personally, my personal opinion on the whole matter is this. So, Alabama just lost, BYU just lost. In my opinion, they should be out of it. Now, I have my TV on that has the Big Ten Championship on, Ohio State and Indiana. Before this commercial break, I believe Indiana's up on Ohio State by 3. Okay, this game ain't going to be a blowout. So both those two teams are going to make it. It just depends on who wins and who's going to be number 1. At this rate, it could stay 1 or 2 because of how good Indiana and Ohio State are playing right now. Now, Texas Tech and Georgia, they're all automatically locked in. They won their championships. Ole Miss and Texas A&M, they're pretty much going to be in. Their records are good. Their schedules were really tough and good. Strength of schedule, I think they were high. If I'm not mistaken. But, you know, Ole Miss and Texas A&M, they're going to be in there. They're not going to pull them out. Now, here's where the controversial part is. The 11 seed and 12 seed are going to the ACC champion and a Power 5 champion. Okay? Mind you this, the ACC championship game, Miami's not even in it. It's Duke versus, I think, 17th ranked Virginia. Here's the kicker. If Duke wins tonight, or last night, if Duke wins, they're putting one of the other Power 5 schools. What schools are they talking about? North Texas, I believe, and James Madison. Real quickly, while we're here, plans to stop on the other side of Oklahoma City. Stop there, top off, and it's actually just outside of Fort Smith. We should clear that. I don't know. But that is the goal. It's either going to be this fuel station, or this one, or this one. I might just go to this one. So we'll see. And if you guys did not watch the first episode, or the first part, that's what we're loaded with. So, what happens with the Power 5 school? The Power 5 school would take the last available seed, which is the 12th seed. The 11th seed would go to another conference champion, which I forget. I'm losing my train of it's a Sun Belt, or no? Gosh, I can't think of them. I can't think of the championship they would put there. But anyway, they would look at that, like, all right, this champion, and played better than this one, so we're gonna put him at 11 and that one at 12. That's pretty much the final 2 spots. So that means there's 2 spots up for grabs, 9 and 8, or 9 and 10, which is where Notre Dame and Alabama are. Now, my personal opinion, Notre Dame and Miami should go in. This is where I'm also going to throw out my opinion. In my opinion, because of the head-to-head, Miami should go ahead and be ranked above Notre Dame. But I think because of the strength of schedule and because of some of the points that Notre Dame mustered, I feel like Notre Dame is still stay in it for the playoff. I also do believe this. If you put Alabama in, okay, and we're going to put the air quotes around the word if, and we're also going to put the air quotes around, you put Alabama in, here's what's going to happen. Alabama's going to be playing Oklahoma. Here's the problem with that. The past 2 years, Oklahoma's beaten Alabama twice. And that is no joke. Okay? Here's another thing. If you put Notre Dame in there, Notre Dame on the road is good. Notre Dame at home, meh. And the reason I say meh is because, you know, we could have done better. We could have. So, here we go at the weigh station. Oh, they're open. Oh. Okay then. And Bobby Pierce has just won the Gateway Dirt Nationals. I have my phone up for Gateway. What the fuck happened here? There we go. But anyway, more or less of the story, in my opinion. In my opinion, I think the last two spots, 10 and 9, should go to Notre Dame and Miami. Alabama and BYU, you guys had 2 good years. Or, you guys had good years. Alright? Congratulations on making it to your championship game for your conference, but just my opinion, I feel like Notre Dame and Miami, put Miami above Notre Dame, and that'll be that. So, I know a lot of people would probably agree with me with that because, number one, a lot of people do say Miami should be ranked above Notre Dame, which they should. The head-to-head matchup, that's the proven point. Other proven points, you know, Miami and Notre Dame did play the same teams this year, so. Sorry. Oh my. But I know some of you have messaged me privately and asking, hey, for my opinion. Yeah, that's just my opinion. You know, Alabama and BYU, they both lost fairly significantly today or yesterday. So, just my opinion. I believe Alabama and BYU. Congrats on having a stellar year. Just let Miami and Notre Dame in. Now I will say this though, because you know, the seeds 5, 6, 7, and 8, you know, they're going to be the home teams. 9, 10, 11, and 12 are going to be the away teams. So there's some fairly good matchups there, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, I would hate to be the team that has to fly out to Oregon and play Oregon because, you know, knowing them and the scheduling, yeah. But you never know. So. that's my little rant for today. Pretty much about college football and everything else. You know, I do hate this time of the year for that specific reason, because I love college football. I love college football more than the NFL. But, you know, it is what it is. We're getting into where the good games are going to be happening, the bowl games. So, we'll see what happens this year. So, now I did ask this question, and this person must be a Vanderbilt fan. And the question goes, how do you feel about Vanderbilt and how they're doing with Clark Lee as their head coach? Well, first of all, Clark Lee used to be a defensive coordinator at the University of Notre Dame. He was really good with us. He was really good. He's doing a lot better than what I thought he would be doing. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I did hear they signed an extension for him. I can see a lot of good things coming out of Vanderbilt. You know, maybe you guys might get more players drafted in the NFL. You know, you don't know with how these schools do. You know, but it's good to see Vanderbilt. You know, who used to be the laughingstock of SEC, they're doing really good. You know, it's going to take some time. They're not there yet with Georgia. You know. Like I look at last year when they beat Alabama, that place went fucking nuts. But you know, that's just my whole thing with that. You know, is Vanderbilt will come out, or Vanderbilt will get better. They will get better. They will get, you know, they will get everything. They'll get everything figured out. Clark Lee, you know, he was a very good defensive coordinator. You know, no matter where he went, he was good. So. And then the other question I got asked, how do I feel about Lane Kiffin and what he did at Ole Miss? I'm not, you know, listen, and this is going to piss a lot of Ole Miss fans off by saying this, but are we not surprised? Like, are we genuinely not surprised that he hasn't done it sooner with Ole Miss? Like, come on now. Oops, I was hitting the wrong button. I think we're too bit of a higher here. Oh shit! And that is why I don't drive backwards consistently, or while I'm looking backwards. All right, so here comes the first one. Yeah, we'll just do that. That way the sound trip ain't gonna be as long. Yeah, we'll just do that. Now, yes, part 3 will be added to the silent trip, or that playlist. Yes, part 3 will be added to it. So, but anyway, back to my discussion, discussion. Yeah, I'm sitting here talking with somebody. Well, I'm talking to you guys, but you guys are just listening to me. I'm not hearing what you guys are saying. But anyway, back to what I'm about to say about Lane Kiffin. You know, he is a good coach. You know, I will gladly give him props where it's due. He is a very good head coach. He can turn programs around. He can. He's done it before. But the thing with me is, you got to show loyalty. And he's not the best guy for loyalty, in my opinion. You know, there's that incident with USC being fired at the tarmac, when he did at Tennessee. You know, and then he goes down to Alabama and beats the offensive coordinator. You know, Nick Saban takes him under his wing. You know, and I must say, you know, for a coach to, you know, for a head coach like Nick Saban was to take some coaches underneath his wing, you know, props to him. You know. like especially Kirby Smart or oh, what's the other one? He's real recent too. Oh, I can't think of his name. Get a headache because I can picture this coach too. I can generally picture this coach. I just can't think of his name. But yeah, he's not really going good for showing his loyalty. But we'll see what happens with LSU. You know, if LSU wants to spend all that money, go for it. You know, that's like Penn State right now. Penn State, you know, they agreed to an 8-year deal with, I believe his name is Matt Campbell, the Iowa State head coach. He's a good coach. He's a good recruiter. Yeah, I'm not really big into Penn State, but you know, if you give him the right opportunity, he might turn Penn State around. We'll have to wait and see, though. So. Like I said, you know, first time doing this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. The main reason why we're doing this, you know, not first because of money, but we're a little bit closer to Louisiana, and that's the goal. So, and part 3 is here going to be out Tuesday or Wednesday. I haven't yet made my mind up because originally it was going to be Monday, but you know, I pushed that off to another date. So just making sure nothing pops out. Oh, here we go. Let's see here. 44 gallons. So you guys have asked for the speed, so here we go. So let's see here. Alright, yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I can just tell you that now. We stop for fuel. We will. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Does it really? I guess not. Alright, so what I was about to say is, okay, so we pulled in here with 5 minutes and hold on a second, let's get fuel. so we pulled in here with like 5 hours and 10 minutes. Next rest stop is 5 hours and 19 minutes. Yeah, we would have lost all that time. Just saying. Here's another tanker. So, excuse you. Y'all saw that, so what a prick. Alright, we're gonna park. Let's park in the dirt. Oh yeah. That's plenty of room. Alright. I'll hit enter once I say goodbye to you guys. Take a look at the navigation. But yep, there you guys go. That's where we're delivering. So, and then right here is Louisiana. Can't wait. So, but before this video gets a little bit too long, and before I keep rambling on myself, oh, we do have one weigh station. A lot of you guys have actually asked me about the weigh stations. Yes, I try to keep an eye on them because I don't feel like stopping at them. So, but anyway, let's get out of here. Let's show off the truck. Looks like it's going to be an early morning delivery, which is fine. We're still ahead of schedule massively, which is good. And yeah. So, with that being said, I'm going to get off here before I keep rambling on, and this video gets a lot longer, which it shouldn't be. So, hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Hope you guys have a wonderful start to your week. And go check out part 1. And yeah. Oh, thank you once again for all the love on here on YouTube. And I'll see y'all next time. But yes, once again, thank you all for all the love on here on YouTube. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Alright guys and girls.